Are you viewing that?
It's visible, ma'am. Yeah, it's visible.
It's visible, ma'am.
Right. Okay. So we have seen till this slide last time. Right. Okay. Hope you are not tired. So it's the last class today. So let's have Rabia get some energy. So I need, because conversation as we have discussed in the last class, it's unfortunate that we have missed due to the cyclone. It's really, we got severe damage, and nearly 6-7 days it went without power. Power restoration itself took 7 days. So connectivity was a challenge, right? So that is why, hope all of you will understand that. So now, as the impact of the Bengal cyclone, what happens now? We are running out of time, so we have to rush out. So we are changing a little bit of strategy. So in between, immediately, if you have any doubt, you are going to raise your hands and ask, and we will try to cover as much as possible within the given time. After all, we are all managers, right? MBA, so we know how to manage even in the crisis, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes or
Yeah,
no?
ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes. All of you are MBAs and managers. All of you know that, right?
Sure, ma'am.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes,
ma'am.
madam.
Obviously.
I'll tell you one thing. See, you are not doing in regular. Okay? So you may have the concession discounts and all, saying that I'm not attending lot of classes, I'm not a regular student, so I may be studying a little bit. You may have all these concessions. But when you enter into the society after completing MBA, for example, you're attending an interview, and when they are seeing you as an MBA, there is no difference. You cannot say there that I am like this because I'm a DDist. You cannot say, because society doesn't bother. Society sees everyone as an MBA. Are you able to get the point? See, you imagine like this. We say the doctors are practicing, right? The doctors are practicing. How long? Even though after 20 years, we will say the doctor is practicing. What do you mean by the literal meaning of practicing? Training, right? Why do we say that? See, imagine like this. If like you, the doctors also skip 2-3 chapters and got through the examination, and you are going to that doctor with a particular ailment which he has skipped. Is it okay? Will he say to you? Will the doctor will be open and say, sorry, during the examination I have skipped that particular chapter? Any doctor will say that to you. They will practice on you, right? So be careful that the society is going to see you as a central university MBA. Okay, be prepared. Okay, that's why I said we know how to manage the time also. So now we have seen the self-image last week, right? What is self-image? How you want to be, and how you want the society to see you, and really what you are. These are 3-4 different type of categories. When you are able to identify these things, you remember that, and put that side and say, this is the summary what we have seen, right? So
Yes, ma'am.
if you are able to see the gap between these things, what you are real, what you are thinking of you, what you are really, and what your expectation is, if you are able to bridge the gap, because what the society is thinking of you, you can leave that, that's not important. So if you are able to bridge this gap, what you are imagining, what you are, and what you want to be, right? If you can put a bridge to what you want to be, that is actualization. That is why you have to understand that if you want to, why in organization point of view, we are teaching you that if you are actualizing yourself, you will be performing at your highest compatibility. That is why we say that it is important that one person should understand who he really is to understand other person, right? That is very important in organization. So the next thing is organizational image. Every organization, we say it is a separate entity, right? It has a name, it has a life, it has a birth date. So it is a separate entity. So every organization also has an image, right? We call it as organizational image. I have given you some top companies where The moment you see the logo or the tag, the name, you will get some image on your what do you say, you, because you have information on these companies, and of that the society is having, this is what the company is. Say for example, the moment I see Infosys, I remember that they have been best employer continuously for 3-4 years in a survey, right? The moment I see Tata is a big conglomerate where they give a lot to the society back, CSR, like that. See, everyone you see, the organizations have a particular image, right? How that image is formed? Voluntarily, sometimes involuntarily, right? Voluntarily, they will have PROs, they will be using how the organization should be seen by the people. But sometimes what happens, some crises or events may create an image, whether you want it or not, people have a image. So that is what the organizational image is. How the organizational image is going to impact on you and the organization, it will impact on the vision. If any organizational image should be aligned with the vision, if it is having a paradox between what you are preaching and what you are doing, right? People will easily understand that you are acting what the company is saying. See, for example, we call it as greenwashing. Many companies do that, right? They will say that it is eco-friendly, it is a herbal toothpaste. If you see the ingredients, you will see that it is 0.001% neem will be added. What they will say, neem toothpaste, right? So these kind of, see, the organization wants to create an image that they are eco-friendly and they are contributing to the ecosystem, but whereas it is not true. When time goes on, when you are using the paste itself, you will come to know that it is not living up to the mark. So what happens, after a particular point of time, the organizational image will change, right? It is a slow process, but it's a very strong, firm process. That is why the organizations are afraid how the people will be looking at that image, because the image is a very important point in a point of selling, profitability, right? So that is why. So the vision should be exactly aligned with the image. If you are tilting, if the vision is, you are saying the vision is something and you are not able to live up to it, you are obviously going a dive down, right? The second thing is, it is a management tool. You can use it as a management tool. It's like a culture. You can say that the employees should be abiding by the image, so that you are living into that, right? See, for example, even the families have some image. Some families will have a stricter image. For some families will have a fun image. Are you able to get my point? So what happens, the members in that particular family indirectly gets influenced by the image relatives have on them, and they will try to adjust their characteristics accordingly to fit into the family image. Are you able to get my point? Can you relate to it? How you might be acting in front of relatives when you are young, and your father mother expects your behavior just to stick on to the image of the family. Am I going a little fast?
No, ma'am.
Right, right. So it is used as a management tool to control the employees with the image, right? To make them fit into the organization. Then, as I told you, public relations is vice versa. Public relations create the image, and public relations will have to accept the image. So both ways it was. But public relations is the major tool to create this image. Remember that whatever you are seeing, right, is not exactly, whatever you are seeing is what the company wants you to see, right? So this is common for any image, you can see, right? This can be applicable to a self image also. What the other person is seeing is not the real you, what you want to show to him, right? What the other person you are imagining is what he wants to present to yourself. So they can hide in something else also, you don't know that. So public relations is the bigger tool which is creating the organizational image. And image is like a overall display. It is like, a dress add-on to the organization, how you are looking at the organization, right? So that is what organizational image is about. How the organizational image and the self image are related, right? Why this organizational image Sorry, I think the Google snapped in between. I am reloading the PPT. Thank God I noticed immediately. Otherwise, I would have been talking without noticing that it got cut.
It's visible, ma'am. Your order
Yeah.
was audible. Yeah.
Okay, I uploaded, right. So, where I left it, how the organizational image and self-image is related. Why we have to get it, right? So, what is this organizational image and self-image? See, kindly this chat among yourself can be held for some time, right? Till the class is over, because I will be monitoring the chat, thinking that you might be asking some question, right? So it would be a disturbance. So you can chat later after the class, right? Okay. So a organizational image, if it is well, right, it gives you a prestige that I work with the organization. I'm affiliated to this particular organization. I think all of you understand this, right? So organizational image is important for the employees to perceive that I am affiliated to this particular organization. That gives me prestige, that gives me satisfaction, right? So if I am attracted towards the organizational image, what happens? I will be loyal to the organization. I don't want to immediately resign, or I will not be attracted by any other offer given to me, right? And also this mental satisfaction I have, because I'm working in a very good organization. It is perceived like this by other people, my relatives or my spouse, like that. So what happens? That will be reflecting in my well-being in the work. So I'll be happy and I'll be productive in the organization. So everything goes vice versa. The organizational image is bad, right? The organizational image gets bad. What happens? The people will be tend to get out of the organization. They will be looking for any other offer to grab and go away. So organizational image is very important for the organization also and for the employees also. So if it is gone bad, you have to slowly build the reputation. It's a process like any other reputation we will be building, right? Right. So this is another one small topic. This is called as self-efficacy. Self-efficacy is how you are able to, what do you say, update your capability. How you will be effectively promoting yourself in the productivity area. That is what self-efficacy is, right? So this topic is a small one. Just you understand that how this works is with the starting point as your dreams and aspirations. The self-efficacy can be activated by yourself only. Your inner, what do you say, wishes, right? So you dream of something, you want to be something. So that converts into the, it goes like a cycle, right? So you will be thinking the feasibility, whether this is possible, whether say I want to be an actor, whether it is possible. So if the feasibility is okay, then it gives the hope. Okay, what gives the hope? The support from the other people and the optimism inside you. So you can see it is like a cycle. So what happens? That hope makes me the ideal self. I get a proper image of what my ideal self is. So that comes from the personal vision also. So other line where this ideal self comes through is through the passion, your age, because the feasibility comes with the age, whether you can do it or not, and your career stage in the organization where you are, whether your dream can come true. And then even your dream can come true, but you have to go through a narrower lane, or you have to go zigzag, you have to do something wrong to get that to that place. Then that feasibility will be checked by your values and belief, because you are made of values and beliefs. If you accept that also, then what happens? Then you can reach to your ideal self. So self-efficacy is a path where this is a continuous process. You will be imagining what you want to do. Your passions and dreams will be the seed for that. It will be growing. So you will think whether I can make myself up to that, right? That concept is called as self-efficacy, where you can improve yourself. So another one way of explaining is self-efficacy comes through all these things: your performance with experience and your observations, vicarious experiences, what you are observing through others. See, that person is doing better than me, how he is doing by observation, or that person is doing bad than me, how he is doing, why I should not do that. And also if I am dreaming, I cannot do that without my support, right? So social persuasion is another important factor. The people around you should help you to get your self-efficacy. Then imaginal experiences, how you are vision, you are taking up a vision, visualizing your future, and your states, physical and emotional, whether you are able to, say for example, a person who is not able to walk with a weak knee cannot think that I want to go to the Olympics, right? So your physical and emotional states also matter. So all these things together can give you a self-efficacy. So we said SOBC model, through that you can achieve that. What is that? You should have a stimulus, right? Something to stimulate you so that you can push forward. Your organization should support that, your behavior and consequences of the past behavior. See, if you have a history that you are not supposed to do this or like that, so what happens? Your history may abrupt. So all these things will be this is a model, right? With these four, you can make a model. The next one is 4 models of OB. This is about OB, right? We are coming out of personal and we are saying how a person will work in a organizational behavior. That how his organizational behavior will change. We try to divide it into 4 major categories, right? Just by the slide itself, you can easily understand this. There are 4 models: autocratic, custodial, supportive, and collegial, right? So these are the divisions of how to analyze these 4 models. What is the base of the model? Autocratic is power, right? Custody is economic sources, like being a guardian or parent. Supportive is leadership. You say when a leader is there, not a manager, a leader, then it is a supportive model. And collegial model is partnership. This is like a democratic model, right? Okay, then managerial orientation, here authority rules, here money rules, here in a supportive model, support rules, and then a collegial model, we call it as teamwork, right? And the next one, employee orientation. What is expected of the employee in autocratic model? The employee should be obedient. In a custodial model, they should be the beneficiaries. In a supportive model, the performance speaks, and the collegial model, responsibility speaks. Performance comes through the responsibility. You can see that this is getting better one by one, right? Next is psychological result. On the basis of psychological result, if you see, in the autocratic model, the employees will be dependent on the superior. Whatever rule they are imposing, we are ready to follow it. We are not supposed to think, right? In a custodial model, it is on the organization, because we think organization is giving our food and we will be obedient and loyal to the organization. In a supportive model, it will be participative. The employees will come forward. In a collegial model, it is self-discipline. The employees will be having their own self-discipline to perform in the organization. The employees' needs are met or not. In this case, autocratic model, subsistence. You don't know whether your needs are met or not. You will not be allowed to think in this model. And in custodial model, security will be there, because as I told you, it's like a parent guardian model. So they will be taking care of it. They'll give you quarter, GPF, everything. So you will not have a place to speak out your problems. They will take care of your needs. And in a supportive model, recognition will be there. Very good. You are doing the initiative, you will be rewarded, awarded. But in a collegial model, apart from the reward, what happens? Your actualization will happen. That's what we call about self-efficacy just now. So in a collegial model, you will have space to improve yourself. Self-efficacy, that space will be there. And in the performance result basis, autocratic model, it will be minimum, because you are forced to do something. You are not doing up to your performance level. So what happens? Obviously, I want 10 units to be produced today. All the employees will produce 10 units, and that's all. They are not interested to do more. But in a custodial model, it will be passive, right? Because see, somebody will be having loyalty. Okay, they are giving me all the needs, so I may do 1 or 2 units more. In a supportive model, they will be awakened. They know very well that they will be rewarded and recognized if they are producing more, right? So they will be tend to produce more. But in collegial model, it is neither this or moderate. They will be having their own responsibility. They know the actualization, how much they can do. So based on that, they will do. So what we are going to learn through these 4 models is, your behavior in the organization is not purely based on you, but also based on the organization's way of treating the employees. So you can divide the majority of the employees' behavior in any of these 4 categories. Easily you can understand the behavior of the employees if you are able to understand what kind of model, OB model, the organization is using. Are you able to understand this?
Madam,
Yes, ma'am.
can you explain SOBC?
Yes,
SOBC, madam.
it is simple: stimulus, organization, behavior, and the last one, what I said, I forgot. So why that is SOBC model is how this stimulus, organization, behavior, and the consequences will help is, see, this model takes up one by one. A stimulus, say for example, your self-efficacy or your behavior in the organization should be changed. A stimulus will be given. Say for example, the organization will announce that, okay, if you are able to perform this much in this quarter, after 4 months, a appraisal will be there, and we will give you incentives or a best performer, a star will be found. Right? So like that, the stimulus will help the organization, behavior to change. Then the organization, just now we saw the 4 models of OB. So a organization elicits the behavior. The other person, the leader or manager or superior, sometimes your subordinate elicits the behavior from you. They pulls the behavior from you, right? Then the third one is your own behavior. How you are able to make yourself understand and move up. And the last one is consequences of your past behavior. See, as like a history, it will be following you, right? So based on that, you will be building up your own next step. So this is a model where these 4 components can be taken and a model for efficacy can be created, right? That is what we
Okay,
did.
ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. So can we move on to the second unit? I know I am running a little faster today, but nothing to be done because within the given amount of time we have to move forward, right? Because a lot of other complex ideas also there. So where I am going fast is where I have hope on you that you can yourself easily study those things. So I will be spending more time where I think it's a little bit complex and you need help. Okay. Right. So now it is important lesson what we are going to learn: perception and learning. Right. So if you are able to understand this, perception, easily you will have the empathetical idea on other people. We used to say, you stand in other person's shoe and think. That will come if you are able to understand this concept. What is perception and learning? Perception is the way of interpreting the information. Whatever information you are getting, how you interpret that. How you interpret that? By the face value, by the past behavior, by your past experiences, right? And the information available, and the judgment and the review of the other people. So all these things are the major inputs for your brain to process what you are seeing, right? Say for example, that's why I have given you a picture. You can see who is right and who is wrong. Green or pink, who is right?
Both are right.
Can there be two answers? Yes.
As per their own perspective, ma'am.
Yes, that's what
It's my
exactly.
perspective.
Because yes, in science we say that definite answer should be the no. In psychology there are many answers, right? Because people perceive in different kind of. The last class itself I told you, when there is 121 people now in the class, whatever I am saying is a single version. My tone is same. My actions are same. It's common to all the 120. Can I imagine? Can I assume that all the 120 are receiving my information in the right sense? What I intended to do. It may be 1, it may be 120, or it may be 0. What I wanted to convey, none of you may be able to understand. Are able to understand. So, what is this understanding? Perception, what you are perceiving. Perceiving is like receiving with your own intention, right? We usually we say you hear what you want to hear, right? How to say that? You see what you want to see. How to say explain this? Yeah. I'll say with my example itself. Say for example, by 4 o'clock, I am crossing through ECR at a main road, right? I don't know. I see only coffee shops. All the coffee shop board will be seen by me. No other shop I'll see. Why? I see what I want to see, right? The same way, see, you are a divine person and you are doing something at the evening, you are walking in the road, you are thinking about the God, right? I want to go to temple or something like that. You will hear the bells, church bell or the temple bell. You will not hear anything else. The other person walking with you may not hear that. You hear what you want to hear. This is bell or coffee shop is fictions, right? Fictionary, that stable. It is not going to change. But in the same scenario, if a person is talking also, you hear what you want to hear, right? The other things will be blurred. Other good example for this is when you are fighting with someone, right? You will catch a small word which they may not be having a intention. You perceive in a wrong sense because you are fighting, right? So this is what perception is. If you are able to understand that, right? See, the characteristics of the perceiver, target, and the situation plays a major role. Remember this sentence, right? The perceiver's characteristics, the target, the situation. Every situation is different. The same thing, see, for example, after the storm, after the cyclone, if a tree sways, we will be thinking it is going to fall down because we have seen so many trees fallen down. So the situation, if it is not, it is a summer time, maybe not. Are able to understand? So this is what the perception is about. And the barriers to perception, just I have given a small gist of it. What are all the barriers to the perception? Wrong perceptions will be there. Why it happens? Selective. As I told you, you are selective. You want to see only that. Stereotype, like say for example, if a teenage son comes a little bit late, stereotyping, you will perceive that he may have gone with the friends to roam around. It may be true, may not be true, right? Stereotype, you think that in this age people tend to make mistakes. Are able to understand? So if you understand this, what will happen? You may not scold your teenage son if he is coming late. You will first ask where you went. That is a difference. That is why we study this. Then the first impression error. You carry the past. The past incidents will be here as a luggage. So what happens? The past gives you the result for the future. You think that happened, so this will also happen. Don't do that. In the projection, you want to project. See, you want to make one person, make one statement, make one incident, make an event like this. So you project. That is from you, not from outside. It is from the inside of you. So these are the important things of perception. So here you can see that what are all the things that leads to perception. These are the factors that leads to perception. What are they? The reality. What is real? If you perceive, you are very good. Understanding the situation. Context. What is it really? What is beneath that? Then the memory. That is what I said, past experience. What is the memory is telling you? This is what is what. Then the knowledge. Out of the memory, past experience, you will be having some knowledge on what it could be. Then cognition. Your processing, your CPU, your mind will be processing what it is. Vision and sensory system. Sensory system is also an important thing on perception. Right? So these are the important factors that will lead you to perceive things. So this is about perception. A small, introduction on that. We'll be seeing more if possible. Okay, right. Then learning. Yeah, I'm going by target. Half an hour. Okay. Now I can a little bit slow down. So learning is the next process we'll be seeing. So learning, we think that most often that it is related to the school or college. We think that once our graduation is over, the education, the learning is over. No, the learning starts the day we are born and it will be continuing till the last day. Because we are wired like that, right? Layer by layer, our brain is like layer by layer, it's like a book. Every page counts. So how these layers are formed? When you are learning new things, a new layer will be formed. Again, you are learning new things, the next layer will be formed. When you are continuously learning something, what happens? Your brain will not stop this process of making layers. So that is why we say some people are having more knowledge or wisdom, right? Why? Because they have not stopped learning. That is the difference. So learning is not studying. You just see the difference between these two. Okay, learning is something different. Studying is something different. What we often perceive learning is a studying. Studying is in your school, what you are studying, the book. Learning is what you are able to perceive from the study. Are you able to understand the difference? If you are able to gather the knowledge, if you are able to dig it out from the book, that is learning. Now you tell me whether the school children are learning.
No, ma'am. Studying.
Studying, because we never allow them to learn, that is another one thing. Okay, leave it. That is why now it is the right point. I was listening to the last class and you were all asking for the PPT here. To me also many people ask, and that is why I make my PPTs very crisp and with pictures. I don't want the PPTs to be the learning tool. Last week also I told you, it is a teaching tool. So what happens? You want to study. You want to study very small, because you think the study material is bigger. So PPT is small. Small slides are there. Is it studying or learning?
Learning. Study.
Learning.
Through PPT you will learn. You will get the knowledge from the PPT. It is studying. You will just go through the lines. You will see the terms and you want to write to the examination. It is not that you want to learn MBA. You are studying MBA. If you are learning, you will learn the study material. Apart from that, you will go and search for some other book, or you will be at least observing the other people to learn the psychology of this particular paper, right? I say that for this particular paper, you don't want PPT or the book. You have the syllabus and read the people around you in the organization, in the house. If you are able to understand them and their behavior, you are master of this subject, right? Okay, so that is learning. Let us see the one by one the thing. Learning is a change in behavior acquired through experience. Listen carefully. It is not acquired through studying. It is acquired through experience. Even if you study, unless you experience it, it's very tough, right? I'll tell you, while you are studying 4th or 5th standard, when I studied, there was an experiment that my teacher will ask us to bring one plant and the red ink will be poured into the water and the plant she will put it. Friday. Monday morning, if when we came to the class, what will happen? The entire plant will be red because the water, the plant will suck in and the entire plant will be red, right? If she teaches this in the class, I may have forgot long ago. Till today, I am remembering this particular experiment. Why? Because experience, experiment. Can you see that? Even if you are studying, unless you experience it, you will not remember it. That is why just now I told you, take the syllabus, you see the concepts, you understand that, you experience it with the people, you relate it to the people. If you are able to relate it to the experiences, you will never forget it. Right? So that is learning. It is a process of acquiring new understanding, knowledge, behavior, skills, values, attitudes, and preferences. Right? Classical conditioning of learning. That is one concept. Process of modifying behavior. This we do in the schools. I need not explain this to you, because you can see that we do that in the schools. What do we do? If the teacher comes in, what we have to do? Get up and say, good morning, miss. When they go, thank you, miss. When you are going out of the class, you should walk in line, right? So classical conditioning, learning happens like this, right? Operant conditioning. It is a process of modifying with positive or negative consequences. If the student is not walking in the line, what will happen? They have to kneel down. Negative consequence, right? The one who is studying better and getting first rank, the award is given. Positive consequence. So what is this? This is operant conditioning. Classical conditioning is habitual. You are doing it daily. Operant conditioning is through with one operation, right? Then reinforcement theory is the third factor of the learning theory. What it is? It enhances the chance of desirable behavior. So what do we do if a person is getting the first rank again and again? So you are rewarding, it becomes a reinforcement. If a person is given with negative reinforcement, what happens? They will stop doing that. Simple. So just as it is the learning, I gave the example of school, you remember that, you will easily remember these things, right? So we come to the next topic, which is called as personality. Personality is often misunderstood, Often we say that, see that personality, we relate it to the What do you say? Physique. Am I correct? Often we say he is a good personality. That means he is looking good. No, not the outer exterior we are talking about. Personality is about the interior. Okay, so let us see what is a personality. Every personality is different. Why? Because everybody has that skill, ability, perception, attitude, value, ethics, all the traits different. Right? A twin, like even a Siamese twin. That is, they are glued together. Two people born with same organs, or like you would have seen, right? Have you noticed that the personalities are different? Have you ever seen Siamese twins? Even there is a Tamil film on that. Both will be contrasting personalities, right? So what my point is, you cannot say any two persons are similar. Okay, every personality is different. Personality is relatively a stable set of characteristics. Remember that, right? The personality is like a core. It doesn't often change. Doesn't change at all. So what can be changed? What we are seeing classical conditioning and all, behavior only can be changed. Are you able to get the point? Personality is the core. How a person is born with, right? So if you want to change, you can change only the behavior. The individual is like this, right? That is his personality. So what are the determinants? How you say this personality is this? Why he is like that? So these are the determinants. Lot of hundreds of determinants are there. I have taken only major determinants. First is family, right? Where you are born into, because this is not only situational, not environmental. Not only the family influences you with their behavior. Family gives you the DNA, right? Genes, it comes through the genes, a lot of characteristics. Maybe very hard to understand, but what happens, it is the truth. It comes from the father, mother, grandparents also, right? I heard, I don't know if scientifically it is true or not, but I say that it is carried out to for 7 generations, right? So that is why usually in some pujas and all they'll ask 7, I heard, but I'm not very sure about that. But I'm sure about that the personality carries down. A little bit is carried from your mother and father, right? So family is not only by external factors, also internal factors. Culture, then where you are growing up, that decides actually, right? Say for example, we often have the judgmental look on people who are growing in slum, right? Why? Because economically they are weaker, so they will be having the greed to earn money or to fulfill their needs. So what we do, we have a judgment on how these people will be when it comes to the money matters, right? Is it true? No, right? It is not the place that decides, it is the culture that decides how the people inside that particular area are. That is very important. And the culture is like, you can imagine it like when you throw a stone in a water, it will be having a lot of rims, right? Have you seen a lot of circles will be forming? Culture is also like that. The culture have lot of boundaries. First your family culture, then extended family culture, then your friends, culture of friends, then your place where you are situational, then your organization, then your society, then your country, then bigger. So the culture is like having the rims, right? So it determines what you are. Then the education, because this education, what we are saying here is true learning. Learning gives you experience, and experience gives you knowledge, and knowledge gives you wisdom. So one who attains wisdom and knowledge, automatically the core matures. Whether it changes or not, it is not that, but it gets matures, right? The internal core. So what happens? It mellows down. You can say that it is getting sometimes mellow down. So you will be fine tuning your personality. When you are getting aged, you'll be able to trim all the things that is not necessary and keep it shiny and glitter. That is possible through education. Then friends, obviously we have discussed religion, food, caste, food. And we should not say lightly about food. Food determines how your behavior is, who you are, the personality, and also that is also important factor. Okay. What you eat is very important, right? So this we call as a big five model of personalities, right? There are so many models now, but this is a classical model, so I have taken this because it is easier to understand and it is like a foundation for all other models that came later. Okay, so first let us see big five model. We call it big five. What is that? The first one is extraversion, right? What is extraversion? The person who is very bubbly and social and easily connects to all the other person. That is the first type. The second one is agreeableness. Agreeableness is one who is amicable with the other person, one who is ready to give and take, one who is ready to listen, right? A warm person we call. The third one is conscientiousness. What is that? One who has the conscience always on active mode, right? Always thinking that whether I'm doing it right or not. So that person will be hardworking to earn and they'll be organized most probably. And these are like, they'll become leaders, good workers. They are like, path makers. Then emotional stability. The one person who is very deep, a personality that is like a strong core, right? So they cannot be easily shaken, right? They will have the stability. They will be very calm, cool, and collective, right? And they will have the self-confidence, obviously. So the fifth one is openness to experience. One who is very creative, imaginative, and curious. So what we say, you can put the person in any of these categories. This is actually no extraversion means it is a polarization till introvert. At what level the extroversion that person is extrovert. That is how we design. So you can identify a personality through these five major factors. That is why we call it as a big five model. You can see that. So there are lot of small fives also. So not small, but lot of small traits are there. So what are those traits? This is called as trait theory. What is trait? Trait is a adjective like big five. We said five important traits, right? Big factors. Like that, there are so many small things that will decide the personality. A lot of traits are there. Again, I have taken down some series of traits where you will understand how to make a person, how to identify a person. You can see that a combination of these traits, right, form a personality. It is not that a person will have all these things, or it is not that a set of these traits will make a person. Nothing like that. This is a list of traits. Hundreds of traits are there. A personality can be a combination of any amount of this, right? So what are the traits? A person can be warm. A person can be reasoning and logically arguing. A person can be emotional and a person can be emotionally stable, dominance, a person liveliness, conscience, socially very bold, sensitivity, vigilance, abstract, private, apprehend everything, openness, self-reliance, perfect, tension. Still, a lot of traits you can say. So, what is the point in this? You, if you want to understand a person, if you want to make a person, you should be able to say the traits in him. What are the traits he has? So what is the combination, how he is made up? Why this is important in an organization? It will help you to predict the behavior of the person, what he is going to do next, how he will react. So based on that, you can modify your behavior. That is a basic rule, right? Okay, so I will give you another one important instrument. This is available in the internet also. If you want to understand personality better, you can go and test this. We call it as MBTI test. Myers-Briggs, actually, MB is Myers and Briggs. These two people have created this instrument, right? This is it is there for a long time. Now they have improved a lot. Free versions are available in the net. You can just go and check your personality. They'll give you a set of questions. You have to answer that. Then they will tell you what kind of person you are. But before doing that, I will give you a trick, before entering into the test, what you have to do is you make a combination. See, for example, extrovert, introvert is a pair. You can be either extrovert or introvert. Are you able to understand? You cannot be E or I. So you select either one. See, for example, if I am taking, I am E, I am an extrovert, E, right? In the second set, sensing or intuitive. Sensing is observing. You will be looking at all the things and then you will process and come to a judgment. But intuition is from inside. You will think from the heart. So what are you? Whether you are thinking from here or here. Yes or N. I am N. Okay, I am more intuitive, I think. So now it is E, N. Okay. Third, you come to T or F. Thinking, feeling. Whether you will be thinking and processing, again, it is like same thing, but feeling, whether you will be emotional, feeling. Take anyone. I am T. Then, so E, N, T. Next, judging or perceiving. Whether you will be judging, this is like that, or you will be probing or perceiving. This is what. So you take up J, I am. So E, N, T, J. So this is my combination. Like this, you make one combination of yourself before entering into the test. Right? So that is your what you are perceiving of yourself. Okay, you take that idea and then write the test and see the result. That will be the gap between what you are thinking of yourself and what you are truly you, true self. Are you able to understand what I am saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, right. I want you to try this and I want some of the result tomorrow. Okay. Evening you try this and tell me how it worked out. Okay. Right. So let's see the factors of personality in organizations. How the personality affects in the organization. First thing is locus of control. We call it as locus. Locus means, like an axis inside. How your behavior is revolving around. What is it revolving around? Whether it is internal or external. See, it depends on the personality. If I am an introvert, whatever happens in the organization, or if I am a intuitive, or I'm a feeling person, F kind of person, I and F. If I have, what will happen? I'll have the locus of internal. Because whatever happens, I will think it is because of me. Right? I'll start feeling. But if the locus of control is external, that means if a person is having E and T, so they will think that it is not only because of me, maybe situation is also affecting me. That is what. So the locus decides on how your behavior in the organization will be. So you should understand that. The second one is self-efficacy. We have seen that already. Overview. Because how the organization is going to help you or how you are going to help the organization. It both depends on your passion and dreams. So what you want to become. So whether that is possible, your personality is going to help you to do that. Self-esteem. What is that? Self-esteem is a worth of what you are, right? And that is what? Self-worth. So you at one point you will understand your self-worth. But usually that comes with steps, at a age. Because when you are in Maslow's motivation theory, if you see, you can see that when your security needs are fulfilled, that is physiological needs are fulfilled, then your security needs are fulfilled, social needs are fulfilled, then only you will see your worth. Unless these three things are not fulfilled, if not satisfied, you may not be able to identify your self-worth. Right? So when other needs are filled up, you will see that, oh, I am worth this, my self-worth will be there. That is self-esteem, we call that. So if you are even employees, if you have a self-esteemed employees, the productivity will be very good. Then self-monitoring. Self-monitoring is a way where I am ready to change. I am very flexible in my behavior and I will be taking up all the signals from the people around me. Right? See, for example, when I am talking, a person is saying here or here or here, or they are sleeping or yawning like this. That means I have to take a signal that, okay, they are not listening to me. Maybe I am boring. Right? Like this. See, because of your one action, a person is not talking to you. The peer is not talking to your friend. So you will be understanding that, okay, what I did is not right. So is not. So you will be changing your behavior accordingly. And that behavior change also will be in different ways. Like, I may be permanently changing my behavior, or I may be changing my behavior only to that person, right? Or I may be changing the behavior inside inside a small area, right? So it depends on how I do the self monitoring, how I see myself in front of others, and how they see me, how much it bothers me. According to that level, I will be changing my behavior, right? So this is about how the organization affects the personality. Are you able to follow? We are going one by one. What is the personality? What are the traits? And how the organization may change you. The personality, how it bonds with the organization, right? So we come to the next part of personality. Can we see that? Are you ready? If you are tired, we can leave and see it tomorrow. What is the exact time?
No, ma'am. Continue.
2 more minutes, right? Okay, so let me say this, but it's a very important topic. Listen carefully. So your personality also depends on your values, attitudes, and beliefs. These three are what do you say? What determines what you are, right? These three things are major components of your conscience. It is here. These things will be acting, fighting between each other. They will be cooperating with each other for every person, right? Whatever, just one second. Okay, right. Okay. So, like this is whatever you want to do is done by these three things without your knowledge, right? Always your mind will be working on these three things. What is these things? Values, attitudes, beliefs. Let us see one by one. What is values? Values is more deeper. That is the foundation, right? Value is what you attach the value to each other. Everything in your life you will be having a value. You may not understand that, but it will be inside your mind. This value is not the monetary value we are talking. Usually when we say value, what do we say? The value of money. We are not talking about the value. There are so many other values, ethical value, personal value, sentimental value, emotional value, brotherhood value, sister, like that, parental value. So many values are there. What is value? Value is the worth you add to something. That's all. Are you able to understand? So imagine in that idea. Don't see like a monetary value. Okay. See, for example, when somebody has gifted you something, right? It might be of 100 rupees, but it may be worth more to you. The value is more. If I give you 200 rupees, will you give that to me fair? You may not give. Are you able to understand? So that is what we are talking about. That is the values. How this value comes? This value comes from the childhood learning, right? What you learn from the childhood, when you are a baby, right? From that it starts. So you are building up this value one by one by one. It may change, right? It may be changing when you are growing up. See how I'll tell you. If you remember your fourth standard or fifth standard teacher, right? Think about them. Put a value. Think about a 10th standard teacher. Put a value. Think about your college teacher. Put a value. Which is bigger? Honestly tell me. Immediately.
While we were children.
Fourth one.
Fourth one.
Fourth standard.
Fourth standard. Anybody else? I want many answers so that we can compare. Fourth means not fourth, fourth, fifth, sixth, like that. Elementary, high school, then college. Come on. There are 100 people only. I get 3 answers.
High schools.
High school, very good. Anybody else?
College.
College. Very good. Can you see? See, it depends on what you gather during that time, right? How they were related to you. Are you able to understand? All are teachers, right? But it is not the value of a teacher. It's not a common component. It is about a particular person you have a relationship with. What is the value you got from that relationship? That is why you are remembering them. Even though that is why I said a common component, not. Okay, are you able to understand? So a value is forming, changing, it is ever processed. It is not stable, right? As I told you, it will get refined. It will get refined for sure. If you are learning continuously and your knowledge is increasing, you will see that your values are also growing in multiples. If you are understanding very clearly what is value, you should add value in your life. You will understand the value of your life first of all, right? Okay. Next one. So these are the list of values. Usually what are the values we say? Loyalty, spirituality, humility, compassion, honesty, kindness, integrity, selflessness. All these things are kind of values, right? Okay. Then next one. Attitude. What is attitude? Attitude is based on what do you think on the, what do you attach value to that particular opposite person or opposite event, whatever it is, right? How much value you have, based on that your attitude will be reflecting. Are you able to understand? See, that is why I gave this picture, a lion with a crown. Here we say lion as a king. Do you think lion is the most powerful animal in the forest?
Yes, ma'am.
No, madam. No, madam.
No, there are many more powerful animals like elephant. Elephant can easily throw it out. So it is not that it is a powerful animal. It is the attitude it carries, right? It gives value to its what do you say, that majesticness a lot, and it gives that attitude how it has to treat the other animals. So what happens? Other animals are becoming submissive because thinking that it is powerful, right? Where it comes from? A strong belief that I have a value towards my strength, right? So the attitude mostly is based on your inner value on the situation, who you are talking to, or how much value you have to that particular person. The same lion may not show the attitude to its kid. Are you able to understand? It will not be showing that attitude towards it. Will be a little bit sentimental. Clear? So it is depending on the value you attach to the person opposite. So your attitude is also then not stable. Are you able to understand? And remember one more thing. Attitude is also a neutral word. So we use it in a wrong way, thinking that person is having attitude. That means we say it in a wrong way. That person is having a bad attitude. Are you able to understand? It is a neutral word. Attitude is everybody has attitude. See, now I have attitude towards the class. What is that attitude? That matters, right? Whether I take the class sincerely or not, whether I am genuine to the class or not, that is my attitude. So how does it come from? By the value I give to my students. See, opposite I see 100 number. So that much. Are you able to understand? So this may not be the same if the students are not listening. I am the same person. I have the same value towards my profession. I have to teach. But the attitude also is elicited from the opposite person. How you act, I react. Are you able to understand?
Yes, madam.
That doesn't mean that my value is changing. Okay, right. The next one is ABC effect. That is affect, behavioral intentions, and cognition. Every attitude comes with these three. How I will be affecting with my attitude. First. Second, intentions. Why my attitude should be like this? Why I have to behave like this? Then I should use my cognitive power. What will be the consequence of my attitude and action? Right? Are you able to understand? So these three will be the base for any attitude. See, every moment we are showing up this. These are happening underneath our brain continuously. To this person, you should show this attitude. To this person, you never voluntarily think about that. Do you get my point? Where any one of you think that my attitude should be like this to this person, voluntarily are you doing? No, it happens involuntarily based on your value on the opposite person, right? And that is what is that affect? What I want, behavior intention. I need. See, for example, this is the example I have given. Affect is I want. What I want? I want to earn money. That is my behavioral intention, right? So my cognition will be why I have to show this attitude. If I am earning money, I will be happy, right? So these three things are continuously going on. So based on that process only, the attitude reflects. in your face, right? So the next one is the cognitive dissonance that we will be seeing in the next class, right? So I know I have given you a lot of input today because of want of time. Still, actually, we are lagging behind. Okay, I don't know whether we will be able to complete it with a given time. Let's see. I will try my level best. Right. I would like you to go through the book today. One thing, and the second one thing, I would like you some of you to first decide on what is an EI or SN or like that, and do the MP test, and come back tomorrow with the feedback. Let us see if you do.
Ma'am, I have a doubt.
You will be able to understand these concepts easily. Yes. Any questions now?
I have a doubt regarding the exam timetable, ma'am. So should we check with CBCS schedule?
Yes, yes, of course. You are new student, so it's
Yeah.
20 after 2023.
Okay,
Ma'am.
okay, ma'am.
Yes.
Madam,
Ma'am, I
if
still
you
didn't
can
get
delete our
my ID
friends,
card.
One by one, one by one. Nurul.
Ma'am, I didn't get my ID card still.
Okay, right. See, these kind of things you write email to help desk. Okay, then maybe
Okay.
you will get it.
Okay,
Then
ma'am.
anybody else?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, out of this complete, like, which one is the best for adopting? Like,
Which
which
one? I
person
don't
is
get your question. Out of which?
out of all the personalities, like everything you said, which one will
All
you
the
prefer?
personalities are best personalities. There is no personality that is called as best. Because who is the evaluator of your personality?
Maybe our colleagues, our manager.
Don't give the power to other person. If you are thinking that the other person is going to evaluate and give you marks, you are giving the control to them. Don't do that. Okay?
Uh,
You are the evaluator of your own personality. Every day you evaluate yourself. You see your actions, your behavior, your attitude, and your consequences. Right? Every day at evening you are able to see your behavior and find the root cause. Why I behaved like that? What was my attitude? Why my attitude was like that? What is the consequences that has pulled? Whether it is good, I should continue. If it is bad, I should leave. Simple. Right? So I am the evaluator of my personality, and you should be the best for you. You don't give up till you make your personality best. You should be satisfied with your personality. Till that, every day you evaluate yourself. Take out the flaws. Right? Every day, if you are doing that, what will happen one day? There will be no flaws. TQM, total quality management. So you will be raising your bar higher, and you will be the best personality in the world. And it is not that you should be certified by anyone there. You certify yourself.
yes. Thank you, ma'am.
Because
That's a good point.
personalities are made by the nature. Right? Every personality is good on its own way. Okay?
Yeah.
Right.
Also, ma'am said the growing nature, like how they were make up to the big ones while they were child, that affects the personalities of someone. But I don't.
Don't allow. See, that is the situation. How it is seen in an organization. What happens? Organization or school, wherever it is, you can see that people easily influence you, right? People easily brainwash you. People can bully you. People can abuse you. But all these things happen because we give a small entry back to your mind, right?
Yes.
Imagine what is the best thing in your body, brain, because that controls the entire thing. If you are having some gold or diamond at your home, how preciously you will lock and keep them, how protectively you will keep them, right? This is precious than that. This is invaluable. But you are allowing anyone to enter into that space. You are not protecting this. Do you get my point? It is not that that means you are allowing their influence, their statements, their lies, their appreciations, their cheatings into your mind. Don't do that. This is a precious space. Don't put garbage into it. I usually say to my students in regular, because they are, that will be a young crowd, all of them will be in 20s. So usually I used to tell them, this is like, it's a safety valve. You are storing everything inside. It's a one-side wall. Once you put inside your brain, there is no way you can remove it. There is no delete button for it. right? So be careful on what you are storing into that. One thing, because you cannot remove that. What you see will be here. What you hear will be here, right? What I used to tell them, because so many hostelers will be in regular classes and they'll go to horror films at night. I tell him, yes, you are young now, so you are able to go see the horror films and you are thrilled to get afraid of. But the thing is, whatever you are seeing and learning is going inside here and it will be saved forever. And when it will be retrieved, like a database, like a computer, when you are pulling it out, when it will be retrieved, imagine like a volcano. See, every place on the earth underneath there is molten lava. But why there are only so many volcanoes? Why it is not erupting everywhere? Because the earth is strong here. Where it will erupt? Where the earth is soft. When you are soft, like for example, when you are having high fever, you will be having hallucination. That is your soft area. These memories will erupt like a volcano in those times. You cannot help yourself. Because you have seen it, you have heard it, it will be here. Right? So my humble request is, this is a precious area God has given you. Don't put garbage in it. Imagine like a safety wall, whether you will put garbage in your bank locker. No, don't put garbage here. It's more than a bank locker. So put precious things here, put good things here. See how good your life will become, because what you input will become the output. What you give here will be your actions. So give good things to it.
Thank you, ma'am. Really nice talk.
Right. Thank you very much. So we will meet tomorrow. I think tomorrow our class will be 2 to 3, right?
Last one single doubt, ma'am.
Yes,
So
Jai Pradeep.
while registering for the exams, we had 7 or 7